Hello, welcome back to March's Planning Mess. As promised in my earlier video this week, I have purchased something to replace, for next year, for my worship planner, and it has arrived. I did go ahead and unbox it and get it in its cover, but I wanted to take some time to go through it with you so you could see what it was that I was working on. So I just wanted to show you real quick. This is what I'm currently using. It is a Sterling ink and one full year size notebook. It has no dates. It's just graph paper, the whole thing. And the reason I went with that was because I really couldn't find a planner layout that met my needs. And I got this big of a book because I really wanted this color. I love this mulberry color so much. But at the time, at least, it did not come in the half year size. It just came in the full year size. So I decided to go ahead and get it because it was pretty. So I have used this for over a year now, and it's probably a year and a half that I've used it. And I have decided whether I finish it or not, I will end it in December and start with something else. Because I put a lot in it, and you can see it's very fluffy and it's heavy and bulky, and so I am ready to have something with a little bit better structure. So the sections that I have in here, I have I basically like a daily page where I am journaling about what I'm reading or studying for worship. And so like sermon notes. So I didn't want to have a laid out space for each page because I didn't want to waste anything. And I also wanted to be able to have enough room should I have a lot of notes for one day that it wouldn't spill over to another section. So that has made this, notebook situation work quite well. However, what was missing was, since it's gone over a year, is figuring out where to put my weekly pages, because my weekly pages are where I put prayer requests. So right now I've just got like one page per week, and I just kind of do like little check off list of prayer requests. And sometimes there's a little, sometimes there's a lot, but I don't need a double spread. So getting a planner that was small enough so I didn't have a lot of wasted space in the weeklies would mean that it was so small that I wouldn't have enough room in the daily section. So that was frustrating. Anyway, the third space that I have is my monthly space, which again is just one page like this. And it's just kind of where I track like what chapter I'm reading. And so it doesn't have to take up a lot of space. It's just a way to like see it at a glance. What am I doing every day? And so I didn't need a planner that had a whole bunch of room in those areas, but I really was not finding a planner that was really working for me. So I kind of was toying with the idea of just going back to a notebook, maybe a slimmer one. But in the process of looking through Pinterest at some layouts, I came across what I ended up purchasing, which is this Aura Estelle. It is a B6, and it's the Magnet Daily for 2027. And I'm going to show you the layout, and hopefully it will make sense why I picked it. So here we have, of course, this is not, I maybe could write in like what chapter I'm doing every day and just see it in a whole year. That might be kind of nice. I don't think I have a use for this section here. But, okay, so here's the monthly spread. This is way more of a monthly spread than I need, but probably what I will do is just write down whatever chapter I am studying at the time on each of the little days and use that view. So with this planner, you do not have all of your months together and all of your weeks together and all your days together. It kind of goes in order. So after that, you have this kind of monthly spread, which is not probably something I will use in a worship planner, but it's there. And then the next thing you have is this kind of two-page spread. I don't see myself using it. Okay, but this is where it gets interesting. So here is your weekly spread. It is one page. So they give you like a little box for every day, and then this section here. And if I was using this as a planner, I would definitely like that set up, because right now I'm working in a horizontal. But anyway, this is how that is. And then we just go straight into daily pages. So I I kind of wish that the daily pages were undated, just so that I could flow from one to the other and then potentially have a lot of room at the end of the week if I wanted to take a lot of notes at church. So that may be something that I choose to do, is just kind of white, like, obviously start at the beginning of the week, but white out and just write the next day beneath it. So I do have that little glut of extra pages at the end if I need it. That kind of just occurred to me right now. But anyway, and then you go to the next week. So it is kind of similar in some ways to the Sterling Ink Complete Planner, where everything is kind of all together. And in this setting, I think it works quite well. One thing I might do, I need to stop by Hobby Lobby and I used to own, it was like a giant paper punch. Like, it made holes that were like about that big. And I used it in my Hobonichi Cousin. And I really liked it because it gave me like those little indentations in the page that you see in Bibles, where it marks where the different books of the Bible start, and it's just like you can see, because it's like a little divot here going all the way through to what book it is. Anyway, I did that in my Hobonichi Cousin, and I really liked it. It made it very easy to navigate through, and I think that will be an essential for this book, so I can quickly get to whatever month I need. They do mark it, like you can see that. So you can see what month it is. But I will probably just leave like the last one and then cut the big punch around, so it's easy to navigate too. But anyway, that is my plan for this book. And I'm excited about it. It's a B6, so it's a little bit smaller. It's wider. It's shorter than the other one. You can see how they compare to each other. So the N1 is about the height of an A5, and a B6 is about the height of an N2, but it is quite a bit wider. So I will have about the same amount of space per page, maybe even more in this. Yeah, definitely more. But yeah, I think it's going to work well for my needs. I've never owned this planner before. The paper, I don't know if it's Tomoe River or something similar. It might be maybe a little thicker. Well, I don't know. I think it's a little bit thicker than Tomoe River, but it's a very smooth, enjoyable writing surface, and I think this is going to work quite well for me. So I'm looking forward to get into this next year, and also to finish off this planner, which has served me quite well it'll be over a year and a half by the time. I think I started in March of 25, because my other choice that I'd used for 2 months was not working. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. If any of you had been interested in seeing an Aura Estelle, then now you know what it looks like and what the layout's like. This is the daily. Aura Estelle also has weekly and maybe one, I think at least 2 other layouts, but I'm not super familiar with it because this was the one that jumped out at me as working well for this type of a planner. I'm not super familiar with them before. I have bought planner covers from Aura Estelle before, but never a planner. So anyway, hope you enjoy this and have a wonderful week.